Okay, so now we're going to graph the anaerobic exercise, all right, and that's actually going to be a little bit different. We need to do a couple of things. First thing we need to do is we need to create a sheet for it. So if you notice at the bottom thing, again, just like we did before, we're going to click Add a Sheet, a little plus sign. We're going to change Sheet 2 to the name Anaerobic Exercise. All right, so that's the new name. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to actually bring the data over. Now we have to do something a little different here because the nice titles that we had before are not there. So I'm going to grab this whole row, all the way up to heart rate. I'm going to go either Control C or Edit Copy. I'm going to go to anaerobic exercise, click in this first column, edit paste, and then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to slide all the way down, and I have the timestamp, which doesn't exist actually. Drag over all the way over to the heart rate and then all the way straight down until I get the whole thing. Okay, Mike L is the last guy. And I want to go one more column over so I have the heart rate too. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste all that stuff in here. And you notice it lines up pretty well. Now, first thing I want to do, I want to clean this up a little bit. We never took this column F, so I'm just going to click on that column and get rid of it since we don't use it. All right, and I'm going to click on column A, the timestamp. We didn't use that, so I'm going to delete that. Right click, delete column, and now this is just the data that we have. All right, so how are we going to do this? Well, I'm going to try doing this a little bit differently because I think the first thing I want to do is put in a chart for the individual data. So I'm going to click at the bottom here on the 68, and I'm just going to click and drag all the way up, and I'm going to go Insert, Chart. I'm going to pick the right kind of chart for that. Wow, that looks terrible. Wait, all right. I actually just realized I need to get rid of something. I need to get rid of the activity information too. That's why mine looks so ugly. So what you're going to do is you're going to click back on B, you're going to right click, you're going to delete that column. All right, that's a little bit cleaner now. I click on the 68, drag up, I capture everything from teacher's full name down to 68. I go Insert, Chart. And again, we get this kind of chart. I don't want this kind of chart. I want a line chart. And again, the problem is it's doing the individual data for each individual person. I don't want that. I want to compare every person for what happens when they're lifting, when they're not lifting. And this is what I get. And if you notice here, most of the people, there's a slight increase in their heart rate. One person's rate went down. Who would that be? I'm not sure who that would be. But one person's heart rate went down. But it does not look at all like the chart that we did before. Okay, so we got this one. All right, so we've charted that data. Now what I want to do is I want to do the average. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a row above, and I don't even have to total these. All you have to do is equals, I click in the column above my data, heart rate resting, equals average, A-V-E-R-A-G-E, open parenthesis, and once I get that parenthesis, I'm going to click on the 88, and I'm going to drag straight down, and then I'm going to close the parenthesis, and then I hit enter, and that tells me the average of all those is 78, and the average of everybody else's is 85. And what you notice here is I can actually just graph this. So I'm going to click on these two columns. I'm going to insert a chart. Again, it's not a column type chart. That's not what I want. Although it does kind of tell you, if you took blue is resting heart rate, red is heart rate when you're lifting weights. There's like practically no difference between those two. But I want to change that into a line graph. And I want to switch the row and column, so I'm charting heart rate versus thing, and basically it just shows that it goes up a little tiny bit. Okay, so heart rate before exercise, heart rate exercise, and those are my two charts. So that's basically it. So if you actually take a look at these two charts, you're going to have these. You're going to be using these in your lab report. It's going to be a very minimum lab report. But what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at what you did here. All right, and you notice between the exercise and no exercise, there's a slight increase versus aerobic respiration, big increase. All right, so that should tell you something about what happened to your heart rate, and we're going to want you to explain that. All right, once you're finished with this should be done. I'm going to be grading this, and that congratulations, you just finished your first Excel project.